Hi,
I'm Laura.
I'm Janmeet, and I have a quick scenario to ask you, and I would love your thoughts on it. So, you saw something on the news about teen suicide, and you wanted to ask your teenager if they're doing okay. How would you go about doing that?
I would talk to them in a low pressure sort of situation, like in the car or waiting in line somewhere, and I would try to keep it casual and focus on the I saw this on the news rather than probing about whatever specific situation they had currently going on. I saw this on the news, so I thought about it, and I just am checking in. I don't have any specific concerns right now, but if something came up, you'd talk to somebody, right?
Yeah, so kind of approach it in a more broader spectrum.
In a broader sense, and make it a brief, low-pressure conversation rather than a long, involved, trying to drag out every emotion from them.
Yeah.
If they're not comfortable with that.
And what if this script was kind of flipped? Say a teenager saw it on the news and they came to you. Would you address it in the same way and have kind of the same dialogue back and forth, or would your thoughts kind of change on the way you would address it?
If they brought it to me, I would ask if there was a specific reason. Is something going on with you that you'd like to talk about? Is there something going on that you'd like to talk about with somebody else? Can I get you help if you need it? And try to gauge how comfortable they are discussing it.
So you pose this question to your teenager and they seem kind of resistant, kind of blown back and kind of just closed to themselves. How would you approach them if that was the case?
I would have more than one conversation. I would have them often, but short. I would also enlist help from other adults because sometimes my children didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah, I definitely think maybe getting an outside adult involved is very helpful, just because, like you said, a lot of times teenagers find it hard to open up to their own parents since it's so close to home, and kids sometimes don't feel safe having that conversation. So I definitely think bringing in another adult is a great option. And I think if your teenager were to reach out to another adult and you kind of want that closure and you kind of want to make sure that they did end up getting the help that they need, I think a great way to kind of have that conversation with them or kind of approach them even is to just openly ask them and say, I know a couple of weeks ago we had this conversation and I wanted you to reach out to somebody. How did that go? How did that conversation sound like? Did you get what you needed from that conversation? As a parent, you kind of get that sense of ease that, yeah, they did or they didn't. And as a teenager, you still know you have your parent in your corner.